Hey, what's good, everybody? If you could hear the fan, it's just too damn hot. so, but so this one I'm gonna do without, I guess, myself on camera. But I put a cool video of tarantula. I seen one a few times yesterday. So, it was clearly a message, and I could probably count on one hand how many times I ran into them within the last few years. Uh, Oddly enough, when I ran into it, it was kind of the same situation I was in before, right? And so, I'll get into that after. But first, I wanted to talk about some of the meanings. It's definitely an intuitive thing, right? Unlike spiders, smaller spiders that spin their web and are kind of higher, the tarantula is closer to the ground. So it definitely is a connection to the earth, right? And what that means as well is not that spiders that are up don't feel the vibrations, right? Because through the web, that's how they know dinner's ready, right? Um, things get caught in the web, and so they know it's dinner time. But so the tarantula spins a web as well, but it uses it more in a defensive way. To the entrance to I don't know if it's called a cave or their little home, right? So they'll spin the web around there, the silk web, and it's more for protection. And so, it has that connection to the earth, the vibrations, very intuitive because, it's kind of like Spider-Man with I don't know if I'm allowed to say that name or if there's some kind of copyright thing with that, so I won't say it again, but you get it, like the whole Spidey senses thing and all that. It definitely it is a time when I'm going a lot more within. I kind of like right now, right? There's a lot of things we can't do, so we're forced to go within. Hopefully, if at least for me, then let me just speak on that. That for me, I definitely chose to go within instead of you know trying to find other things. Sometimes I'll go, like, I actually seen it up in the mountains, right? I was up in the mountains and I seen one, and then oddly enough, I seen another one right after, and so it was really strange because it's not something that I see often. Like another video I'll make is about the skunk, and then that the same thing. I could count on one hand how many times I've seen a skunk, and I seen one like 3 times within less than an hour a few weeks ago, and then so I saw what it meant. But I'll get into that after. So, anyways, one of the things too is about feeling those vibrations, but at the same time using those gifts to serve, which is kind of a thing, right? The day before I had chosen to finally start my spiritual channel, which is this one, right? I had one before, I let it go. Then when I tried to log back in, I couldn't, and it was kind of like the universe's way of telling me, hey, use it or lose it. And so, but another reason was because if I was able to log into that channel, there was a point when I felt like I just wanted to delete everything, right? Whatever moment I was having, that I just wanted to delete everything. And if I would have been able to log in, I would have deleted everything. So I think the universe intervened because I couldn't remember how to log in, which was the strangest thing, right? So, anyways, it's about using your gifts to serve the purpose, right? I'm gonna try not to get sidetracked. Some people actually like that when I make my videos because I'll go into all the little sites, and it's interesting actually because if you think about it, the other video I made, I always go into these side things, and it's like the web, right? It's about seeing the big picture as well, about how everything is connected. So that's the same with spiders, right? And the tarantula, well, the same. It does spin a web, so it's about seeing how everything is interconnected, right? We're all connected. There's this big picture to everything. And that's kind of the same thing with the spiders and tarantulas and all that, right? There's a bigger picture we're supposed to see, and sometimes I understand it in my life, so I'll just say it for you, and maybe you can make it apply to some things that are a little personal, so I won't get too much into that. But as far as seeing how everything, the big picture, right, how everything's interconnected, right? So It is about stopping and trying to see your purpose in the big picture, and patience. If there's ever anything, like, I wouldn't say the main thing that they mean, but it's definitely about having patience, right? Like the spider, it'll spin its web and it'll allow for, for the food to come to it. Um, Even though the tarantula doesn't hunt in that way, it actually captures its food. It's very patient. It's definitely a grounding up about the patience as well. It has 8 legs, which is, like the infinite, the infinite symbol, the infinity symbol, which reminds you to, there's a kind of a, kind of like the web, right? It really never ends. Even though we can't see it, there's a universal law, like a method to the madness. There's things going on that we might not comprehend, but at some point or another, it's kind of like all your hard work, and it does. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to not speak about it, because it was a moment of reflection for me where I feel like I've done a lot of work, and I haven't really seen the fruits of that labor. And I guess it was kind of the universe telling me that there's nothing that goes unnoticed by the universe, especially when you work hard for it. You know, Hard work never goes unnoticed by the universe. That was the message for me, right? And so, it's in that way, right? And for some reason, there's something that I looked up some of the meanings too, and it talked about, like, not sugarcoating the truth, and always being one step ahead, which I definitely have a problem with being too truthful. So that resonated with me, right? Uh, being one step ahead too. Like, there's a lot of things I've done that 10 years later they make sense, and I understand that completely. And sometimes it does, like the hard work. Yeah, I have seen it. Sometimes it does take a few years, and then obviously it's nobody likes waiting that long, right? But I've seen where it almost feels like a miracle, and maybe that's what it is, right? Sometimes you got to be patient to where, which I'm not good with at all. So I'll tell you that right now. Maybe that's the shadow side, right? Uh, because every animal, I didn't speak about that with the coyote, but in a way I kind of did about the paradox and everything. But there's a shadow side to every animal. So especially when they're coming to you as a spirit guide. So depending what you're going on, like when I saw it, it definitely was a reminder. I wasn't so much into that energy yet of going into the shadow side. So I think it came to me to prevent me from going there. Because when I had seen it before in the past, it was kind of, I was already in that place. I had gone a little, I wasn't being patient. I was kind of looking at the dark aspects, right? And so this time it came to me before that, right? So, it definitely gave me a perspective. So that's kind of one of the meanings, about tarantula. It's having perspectives, a perspective about what's important. It's again about going within also, the patience, grounding, the earth. It goes into the earth. So that's, and even in native culture, there's so many stories about the tarantula. That was one of the synchronicities I got as I was kind of hesitating to make this video. I saw someone else that spiritual post about the tarantula, and they happened to post something from a native story, right? Like a native creation story about the spider. Even though, but they said they saw a tarantula, but they posted something about the spider, and that was kind of my confirmation. Because this morning I started getting notes, which is very rare for me to get notes and everything. Maybe that had to do with the tarantula too. The way its web is so, to us it may just look like a messy web, but it actually takes a long time to make that web. And even though it may look like a mess to us, it's actually perfect, right? Because the way they make things, you know, nature and everything is, I'm sure it's perfect, right? And yeah, I mean, another thing it says is like you are about to take an important direction in life. So I do feel kind of like I jumped blindly into making this channel because I've had it for a long time, and I hadn't posted anything on it, and I just did it, I guess, the first one yesterday, and then so here I am making another one, and it seems like it just came out of thin air. So maybe this is part of it. I'm not sure yet. I'll find out. But yeah, I guess trying to think if there's anything I left out. You know, I want to try to make it less about me and more about maybe trying to. But I guess if I tell you the way it related to me, then maybe it gives you an understanding, right? So I guess I'll just share those experiences. But yeah, definitely, I had gone up to the mountains because I did feel kind of like I was at a crossroads, and just I guess sometimes when you work hard, you work really hard, and you may not see the fruits of the labor right away. And so I think that's what the main message was for me. And 8 is also a number. A lot of times, I think I seen I mentioned the numbers in the other video. I seen 888 right after, and I was like, huh. Which usually, they say it means like, but I don't think of it so much as, it's like good karma. When I seen it, it always feels like good karma follows, right? Something that I probably wasn't seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and then eventually it comes. So maybe that's kind of what it was that I think that's what the tarantula was trying to tell me. Step back, see the big picture. Be patient, and that the universe never, your hard work never goes unnoticed. Maybe if by people, never by the universe, right? Even though people may not have seen all the toil and the hard work, the universe did see it, and it recognizes it, and it's always gonna work in your favor in that case, right? So okay, so that's it about the tarantula, and hopefully, not I'll have to go back and ask some more, right?
Astro place, see you in that astro place. Like you a queen, baby, ain't no chase. No games, no buts, no waits. Yeah, you been on my mind since we had that embrace. Waiting to taste you and adore you. I ain't got nothing but love for you. I've been a fan since the minute we met. I've been waiting for my chance just to make you sweat. Make you wet, baby, like drip drop. When you say you're horny, just call me the doc. I'll be your surgeon, general, professional. When it comes to your body, I'll fix it like a clock. And tick-tock, baby, let's squeeze you in. I see you smiling there, thinking about sin. Think about the feeling within. When we meet up and get it cracked. I can say that, come on, let's embrace. I see you in that astro place. You have me smiling enough for days. I never could forget your face. Oh, baby, come on, let's embrace. See you in that astro place. See you in that astro place. See you in that astro place.